Hello, you are listening to OmniTalk's Retail Fast 5, brought to you in partnership with the A&M Consumer and Retail Group, Firework, SPS Commerce, and Sezzle.
Headline number 2, Amazon, this is going to be a fun one, folks. Amazon unveiled, according to Bloomberg, and I quote, its biggest grocery overhaul since Whole Foods.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Somebody's been listening to the movie trailer person this summer and decided to take it into the news world, I think.
Right. Coming this summer, the biggest grocery overhaul since Whole Foods. Right. Here's what Bloomberg says defines a big overhaul. Number 1. Oh my God, this is hilarious. Number 1, Amazon will begin offering fresh food delivery to customers who aren't Prime subscribers. Previously, only shoppers paying the annual $139 Prime subscription could get food delivered from Amazon Fresh stores. Delivery fees range from $7.95 to $13.95, or roughly $4 more than Prime members pay, for example. Number 2, Amazon plans to merge its various e-commerce supermarket offerings from Whole Foods, Amazon Fresh, and Amazon.com into one online cart. Okay. And my personal favorite, Ann, I'm sure it's yours too. Number 3, a revamp of its physical Fresh stores, which includes placing Krispy Kreme coffee and donut stands near the front door, adding roughly 1,500 items to what had been limited inventory for a full-size supermarket, as well as trying to make the space more inviting with bright colors. Bright colors, Ann. Bright colors. All right, Ann. The great thing about this too, and this is smart by our friends at the A&M Consumer and Retail Group, this is also today's put you on the spot question. Here it is.
All right.
After reading all of Amazon's planned changes, what do you give a higher likelihood of success? A former Tesco executive actually getting Amazon to succeed in physical retail, or creating a compelling one-stop grocery shop online across Whole Foods, Amazon Fresh, and Amazon itself?
This is a no-brainer for me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Tesco. I think the team there is very smart, but without a doubt, it's the latter. I think the sooner that you get to one platform for your consumers, especially as Amazon, I think the sooner that you start to converge operations between those, start sharing data more fluidly, and you really start to get an understanding, I think, of your customer across all those platforms, and then how and where you need to lever up, especially when you're talking about going into physical grocery. So I think that it's definitely the right thing to focus on for Amazon. I do think, though, and I'm guessing you feel similarly just based on the intro, but like
based on how I read that, yeah.
Like this kind of is a giant headline that didn't hit on any of the points that I think really are most important for Amazon to be focusing on right now. Like there's no mention in these articles about the quality of the food. Like I don't care if you have the biggest, brightest retail merchandiser, like if it doesn't matter what it looks like, the bright colors, like that doesn't mean anything if the product's not worth going back for. And we already have learned that the technology experience is not enough for people to go back for. And that to me gives one like underlying factor. And that's you have to focus on the food that you're giving, especially the produce. And so I'm really curious here what this Tesco executive, especially the merchant in him, like what he's going to bring in and be like, it's not just about like putting lipstick on this pig here. It's like, what are we going to do to change where we're buying from, where we're sourcing, and how we're really giving people a reason to come back for the food that we're carrying in our store.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. I mean, the crazy thing for me is like, it's all the things you should expect to be hearing. But the big question for me is like, why can Amazon win in this game? Like it seems like a huge uphill battle. That's what I take away from what you just said. You know, and for that reason, I think this is by far and away. I mean, I do this a lot, but this is by far and away. That's not the headline of the year, but it's definitely the most hyperbolic headline of the year, without a doubt. Like, It's not even close. I think it's like far, far in first place at this point. Because the other point about this too, Ann, it's really interesting to me the amount of announcements that Amazon is releasing like this ahead of earnings.
Yes.
You know, they had the we're going to ship, we've invested in same day for back to school. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can get my back to school items same day versus in 2 days. Who cares? You know, like, why are you doing that? They've got the healthcare thing going on this week. So they're just flooding the media with stuff. And you can tell this was a story where they said to Bloomberg, "Hey, do you want to write this about us?" And then now
but
today,
everybody's picking it up. Yeah,
now everyone's picking it up because of the hyperbole in the headline. But net, when I look at those three things we talked about, I love the combined experience. It's a no-brainer. John Furner, when he took head of Walmart, he insisted on that being one of the first things he wanted to do. Because, and it's smart. And quite honestly, John Furner could poop in a bag and I would probably eat it. But
oh my God, that needs to be stricken from the record. I'm sorry, listeners. That was one of the most disgusting things. I know you love John Furner, but no, I mean, dear God, we have to draw a line somewhere.
But Chris, it just is super smart. I mean, there's no reason you should have a disparate experience like that. When you want to shop, if you want to go to Amazon to shop for your groceries, just go to Amazon to shop for your groceries. But the other stuff for me is like, like, why do I said this before, but why do I need another grocery option? What is Amazon providing that others can't? Bright walls, Krispy Kreme. And the other point is Just Walk Out's not enough. That was actually the most telling thing from the Bloomberg story. They actually talk about that. Like, we're not investing in technology. We're investing in everything that makes a traditional grocer work. Amazon thought that would be enough.
Right.
I can remember insiders telling me, like, Dave Clark's walking the store and he's like, when they first launched, they're like, there's nothing special about this aside from a dash cart. And that turned out to be true. And so now they're trying to stand up a grocery experience on par with Kroger, Walmart, Albertsons, and having lived at Target as Target tried to do that same thing throughout all of 2000s and even the 1990s. It's just really hard to do.
Yeah.
So many people have tried and failed, and I've said this on the show before, Tesco. Tesco tried this with Fresh and Easy around 2007 to 2010, roughly. I don't remember the exact dates, and coincidentally, like A&M called out, that's where the guy that's heading this up used to work.
Yeah.
Tony Hoggett. So there's just so much going against this at this point that it just seems like more bad news for me down the road, but I don't know. What final word for you?
I think if I'm a reporter covering the grocery beat right now, I'm covering the Downtown Spirits Just Walk Out headline 1,000 times over this. Like, this seems like, oh gosh, it's hard because it's Amazon and you have to cover it. I'm sure like that's part of your journalistic responsibility, but man, what they're doing in that Just Walk Out store with, having controlled entry and exit for booze and, upgrading that whole process, I think is far more interesting to me than this headline was. But hey, here we are covering it too.
Because we have to. But the other point too is like they're trying to do this in Schaumburg, Illinois, is one of the stores. Like the store's been open for a while. Now you have the uphill battle of trying to get people back into that store too, which is not easy to do. Once you've disappointed them once, like it's a tough game.